Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 15th of November, and we'll be able to extend it out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles because they run to around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that will get us into the beginning of December. I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video release today was our 6 AM upload. We've also released a weekend forecast, and if that wasn't enough, we've released the ECM 42 days / 6 weeks look ahead, and that becomes a little bit of a shamble. So I won't say any more than that. And have a look. It is quite funny. So please like, share, subscribe on Vids, and thank you so much everybody for doing that. Talking of funny, we did a live stream last night. Gilly Gav returned on last night's Friday night live stream, and it was a proper old laugh. I might have gone a little bit over the top with some of the innuendo. I don't know. But it was nice to be back. So thank you so much, everybody who was on live stream last night. If you have not yet caught up with it, then you can watch it on demand. And as I say, it is, it was a laugh, it is funny, but, you know, so it's a bit near to the knuckle, but it's all good, you know, we had a nice time. So thanks so much everybody for last night's lovely live stream. Right, so you're going to start in the tropical Atlantic then. So we've got 3 interest areas. We've got disturbance 2 just here with a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days and a 30% chance in the next 5 days. We've also got disturbance 1 with a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days and a 60% chance, oh wow, in the next 5 days. And then we have got tropical depression Lisa just here, which is more or less done now. Lisa will be dying a death within the next few hours. Setting temperature is in and updated for yesterday, or up to yesterday, 4th of November, currently sitting at 9.8, which is 3.4 degrees above average. So come down under 10 degrees, but still very mild, been a really mild start to November. Thought we'd have a quick look at November through the CT archive. So, of course, central temperature is the oldest, most reliable index of temperature record on Earth. Goes all the way back to 1655. Over further back you go, the more unreliable it all becomes. So if you come down here, we can see that November's number will be placed just there. And already, I suppose, we've got to start thinking about above average temperatures, but of course it's still very early in the month. So last year, November came out at 7.2, so it was a little bit cooler last year. And a very mild December in 2020 at 8.5. We had a cooler November in 2019 at 6.2. Very mild again, 2018 at 8.3. 2017 at 6.8, not too far from average. Quite a cold November in 2016, actually. 5.5. It was actually colder in November than December in 2016. Actually, but November, interesting. November, I forgot this. November 2016 was colder than both the December after it and also the February of 2017. So that was quite a cold November, actually. Exceptionally mild November, of course, in 2015 at 9.4. That was setting up the extraordinarily warm, even a hot December that followed it. 2014 came out 8.5 in November, so mild month. 2013, a little bit cooler, 6.1. 2012, 6.8, not too far from average, very mild in 2011. And then, of course, we've got 2010, which came out at 5.1. And that had a mild start to the month, but, of course, became very cold in the final week or so and was setting up the December to remember. The mildest November on record, which I suppose you have to think about, given how mild it's been to start. The warmest November on record was back in 1994 at 10.0. Just there, so that was our warmest November on CT record. Yeah, no, I've got the wrong column there. What am I doing? It's that's October's column. It's just here. That threw me because actually November 1994 did have a CET originally above 10 degrees. You see, but there's been a lot of tweaking going on in the latest incarnation of the CT record at the Met Office, and so I've just noticed that November 1994 is now at 9.9, whereas before it used to be above 10 degrees. I think it's about 10.1. Tweaking the record, they have brought that down by about 0.2 of a degree for some reason. So that's why it threw me. But so that's October 1994 at 10.0. And I think November 1994 originally was like 0.1 of a degree above that October, something like that. So that threw me. So now November 1994 is at 9.9, which I think is still the warmest November on record. So I don't think they've taken that away. I think November 1994 is still the warmest on record, but it has had a couple of tenths of a degree shaved off it. For very cold Novembers, we can see that we have one of those in 1985 with a November CT of 3.9, well below the December after it at 6.1. So I suppose that was our last extremely cold November. 1993 was quite a cold November as well at 4.5, again colder than the December that came after it. What about November 62, just before the Daddy of Cold Winters? That one came out at 5.5, so it was quite a chilly November, but nothing overly dramatic, certainly not much of a hint of the winter that was to come. Had a really cold November. In fact, the coldest November of the 20th century, I think, is in 1915. At 2.8, imagine that. That would be absolutely incredible, wouldn't it? And that's a strange winter as well. So I have an exceptionally cold November, much colder than the December after it. And then we get the warmest January on record in 1916, 7.6. That's still not been beaten, even in this modern day. And then we go much colder again in February and March, but not as cold as like for November. So that was a very strange winter, 1915, 1916. That November is almost the coldest on the entire CT record, but not quite. We have to go a very long way back for the coldest on CT record. We have to go all the way back to this year. To this year just here, 1782 at 2.3. That is the coldest on CET record back in 1782. And I don't think we'll be beating that this year somehow. So there we go. That's November through the ages. Let's come down here. So we will be placing, or they will be placing November 2022's number in that column just there. And we shall see where we finish up. Hope you enjoyed that little look at November through the ages. Right, these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. And next week looking at Liverpool today. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Liverpool. We're already a little bit above average overall with the upper air temperatures over the next few days. As we move out, though, towards the middle part of the month, it goes very mild. Look at that real warm push coming up later next week and into next weekend. Before, into the second half of November, we get quite a rapid cool down and we return back towards average. But certainly for a while, in around a week's time, it really going to be exceptionally mild. Precipitation-wise, there's going to be further rainfall to come over the next few days. Then, as the high pressure builds in and brings out push of warmth, it will also go significantly drier, and then it turns more unsettled again by the look of it as we head out into the second half of the month. Temperature anomalies on the 5th to 13th of November going to be above average, not just the UK, but through all parts of Europe. And precipitation anomalies from the 5th to 13th of November, generally on the dry and average side of it. There are a couple of exceptions, Western Scotland, possibly Northern Ireland, North West Wales, a bit wetter there, and also far southeast of England. Latest wind flow map from earth.noschool.net shows that low pressure is in control of the weather in the North Atlantic, and we're bringing the air in from off the Atlantic Ocean today. Right, let's go through the chart data. This is UK Met Euro run for midnight on Tuesday. Low pressure will be bringing wet and windy weather, showery into Wednesday. Then high pressure building up from the south. Thursday and Friday will turn things drier, away from the far northwest, and also very mild as well, as you get this push of warmth from the south and from the southwest too. That's how the UK Met looks as we get to midnight next Saturday. As far as we go to, high pressure dominates the weather just to our east, with pulling up wind from a very mild, if not warm, southerly or southwesterly direction. Icon looks like this with low pressure in from off the Atlantic at the beginning of next week. Then we build up high pressure from the south and from the southwest. High pressure takes over, turns us very mild, exceptionally mild potentially at the end of next week and into next weekend, but also dry in that area of high pressure. GFS midnight run shows low pressure dominating at the beginning of next week. Again, we get this build of high pressure developing through the last stage of next week and into next weekend. Will turn the weather exceptionally mild for a time. The GFS is breaking that high pressure down, though, as we go into the middle part of November. So this day 15th, and then we start to bring a probably cold front across the country, some heavy rain, and that's followed by cooler northwesterly winds bringing in sunshine and showers. And as we go to the extended range for the GFS midnight run, looking rather stormy actually, some gales in the north and quite cool in the north as well, with winds in from that northwesterly direction. Low pressure potentially bringing wet and windy weather, especially so to the north. And as we get to the very end of the GFS midnight run, just a bit of a hint that we might pull down some colder air from the north, courtesy of this little mid-Atlantic ridge. I doubt it will last very long, but a little bit of a cold snap showing up there right at the very end of the GFS midnight run. GFS 6Z, once more, is very unsettled from the beginning of next week. Then high pressure takes over at the end next week and into next weekend, sitting over into the east of the country and pulling up this very mild, if not warm, southerly wind. Very quickly, that high pressure begins to slip in towards eastern Europe as lower pressure starts coming in from off the Atlantic, turning increasingly unsettled by around day 10, but still mild winds in from the south, trying to build up a bit of a Scandinavian high there. You'll notice, trying to get a bit of Scandi going. But not successful, as the Atlantic just had too much energy. But GFS 6 just generally turns unsettled and cooler into the second half of the month, with these areas of low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. But jet stream, which is the black line, moving south, so we're going to the cool side, but jet stream with that. So increasingly unsettled and cool into the second half of November. If you enjoyed the video, please you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. And why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about us and all of our videos. And thank you so very much for doing that. Thank you so much, everyone. We need to put on around 40 subscribers now. That's all to get to 14.7k. So if you could give us a sub, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. Right, GM looking very unsettled on Tuesday. And then we're showering into Wednesday before high pressure builds from the south again as we go through Friday into Saturday. High pressure takes over. We're back to patterns of July, really. High pressure over Germany, low pressure in the Atlantic. In between, we bring up southerly winds, with those southerlies originating from North Africa and Spain and whatnot. The high pressure is still dominating weather, really, all the way up towards day 10, but gradually beginning to recede away to the south as the lower pressure starts coming in from up the Atlantic. And then the ECM at WF rounds it all off. Plenty of low pressure in the Atlantic on Tuesday. Then with showery Wednesday, high pressure building up from the south through Thursday, Friday to Saturday. High pressure in control, so looking exceptionally mild there. And as we head up towards day 10, the high pressure then starts to retreat away to the southwest. So by day 10, we're getting cooler and more unsettled as a cold front that's pushing through here. And behind that, cooler air is coming in from the North Atlantic and whatnot. This is the today's forecast based on that ECM run from meteo.com. So showering rain today. Will be very wet in the southeast overnight and into tomorrow morning as well, by the way. That rain could linger on all day in the extreme southeast corner. Otherwise, it's a case of sunshine and showers. Further wet and windy weather through the early part of next week, and then the trend will be towards drier weather, with most of the rain becoming confined towards the far northwest of Scotland the end of next week and into next weekend. Before heading towards day 10, outbreaks of rain start to return. And notice a little bit of snow begins to turn up across northern Scotland as we pull in those northwest winds. The air starts to turn colder and the shall begin to turn wintry in the far north. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today for day 10. Gets to the 15th of November from the Icelandic Met Office. 23 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure to the east, low pressure away to the northwest, mainly dry and bring up wind from a southerly southeasterly direction. With that one, so still very mild and mostly dry with that. 18 here with low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, along with a cooler northwesterly wind as high pressure retreats away. That includes the operational run. And then 10 with high pressure to our west-southwest, low pressure to our north-northeast. The high pressure is retreating there, but has not yet retreated, if you see what I mean. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This will get us to the 20th of November. We have 23 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure to our north and east. That's going to be bringing a cool northwesterly wind, so cool and unsettled. Showery at that. Got 16 with low pressure just out to the west, bringing in winds off the Atlantic. That's going to be unsettled but a little bit milder. And 12 with high pressure just to our west-northwest. Around that could be a little bit cooler. Maybe bringing in some air from the north and from the northeast and whatnot. CMSV2 finally means a 500 millibar high tolerance breaking down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 5th to the 11th of November. Coming week looks unsettled and mild with low pressure in off the Atlantic. Also got high pressure building to our south as well. Week 2 will be the 12th to the 18th of November. High pressure will be over to the east of the country, low pressure out to the northwest. That can be dry and potentially very mild as well, if not warm, with winds coming up from south. Week 3 will be the 19th to 25th of November. Low pressure in from the Atlantic, winds in from the northwest as well, so cool and showery, or cooler and showery, maybe quite wet with that. And then week 4, flat as a pancake, it's the 26th of November to the 2nd of December. Low pressure is to the north in the Atlantic, high pressure is to the south, and winds are coming in from the west a little bit like that. So a mild end to November / start to December. Right, we're done. If you enjoyed the video, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. And why not drop a comment? Let us know what you listen all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. It's amazing. It's incredible. Thank you so much for doing that. As I say, we only need to put on around 40 subscribers now to get to 14.7k. We are grinding. What's wrong with my eye? We're grinding to 15,000 subscribers. When we get to 15k, we're going to do a giveaway. We'll be giving away an Amazon voucher. And, probably only another, just over another 100 before we start thinking, about that and opening it up. So probably when we get to 14.8k, we will start opening it up then and taking names and whatnot for that giveaway. So we are getting closer to 15,000 subscribers. Please give us a sub. Tell friends and family to subscribe, and we thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. Right, so that's it for today's videos. I'm just going to tell you what's coming up tomorrow. We've got 6 AM upload. Then we have got the 10th winter update. It's going to be another epic, I can promise you that. 10th winter update will be coming at 10 AM tomorrow. And we've also got the second installment of the Christmas Countdown, which will probably be released around 6 p.m, something like that, tomorrow evening. So that's going to be epic as well. Epic day of content coming up on the channel tomorrow. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. I'm going to be busy working on the 10th winter update for the rest of the day. But you enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. And I'll see you very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching.